MedBix Webcast is a new kind of healthcare media channel to break the silo mentality and foster interdisciplinary thinking. Our mission is to fill that gap and to create a curiosity through different lenses, tapping the passion that guided the historical figures in medicine and bringing present-day groundbreaking research to the front lines. We interview physicians and leaders in the industry about present-day healthcare challenges on our live programming. Hello, welcome to the MedBix Webcast. Welcome to the MedBix Webcast. This is Ramana Anamaraju. I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm pretty good. But I'm waiting for our guest speaker, Dr. Corey Imam. I don't know what is going on. I have not heard anything from him. Some people have a hard time getting into the studio. Just some guests have a hard time. I'm waiting for him to join, So give me for a few minutes. And he practices kind of he owns an urgent care center in semi-rural Ohio. I think that's what he does. And I hope my nephew is also from Ohio. He's a vascular surgeon in Virginia. He's working. Abhi, hello, how are you, Abhi? Abhi Kashinadani, this is my nephew. So he's also a doctor. So he's from Ohio, but he doesn't practice in Ohio. So, my father is a small-time village doctor in India, rural southern India. And so I grew up a lot of influenced by a lot of physicians. And then I came here and I started replacing a lot of doctors. So on J1H1 visa doctors, they used to come and stay in my house because they were just coming out of residency. They don't have a lot of money. So they used to go and I took them to interviews from my home. It's a fun, So I engaged with several doctors, hundreds of doctors around the country. I placed on J1H1 visas around the country, rural and urban areas from California to all the way to Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, name it, Texas, name a place. I placed them Alaska. So it's kind of an interesting experience. I traveled to small rural towns. That is where I went to West Virginia, Bradshaw, West Virginia. There's not even a water. You have to take water with you at those places. So these are really the black lung, black lung is the big prevalent in the mines, coal mines. So I place a lot of doctors. So I engage with a lot of doctors. There are a lot of people ask me, am I a doctor? No. But I spent a lot of time, and I used to own imaging center, MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, all the radiology center. I spent quite a bit of time in the radiology side. I'm not a radiologist, but I worked with a lot of radiologists, cardiologists quite a bit, because we used to offer a lot of mobile diagnostics, mobile X-ray, mobile ultrasound, mobile CT scan, PET CT, name it. I done everything. So I don't know what happened. He's not showing up. This is very interesting. Very rarely happens. I'm not saying that sometimes the doctors, so busy. Sometimes they forget. I remind them quite a bit, but still, it is possible that people forget. So I hope doctors don't forget their patients. At least that's important. So today is a very, I saw an article today by Dr. So while I have time for a few more minutes, I give him, if he can show up. I was Dr. Robert Pearl, the former CEO of CMO, Chief Medical Officer for Kaiser Permanente, wrote an article about Geisinger, Kaiser buying the Geisinger, the healthcare system in Pennsylvania. It's a huge system, both are big. But he is giving us some points, which some I agree, some I don't agree. But these big systems buying each other, it is going to help small people. It is really, for me, that is skeptical. I have a skepticism I have on those kind of things. I'm not a socialist. I'm a capitalist. I like entrepreneurship. I wanted to be entrepreneur. Healthcare needs true entrepreneurship. That's which is missing in healthcare. So for that, I say quantify the healthcare from mm, micro to macro to micro to granular level. You define every procedure, every encounter, every inventory. You define it to the granular levels, and then put it back, assemble that back. The magic happens. You know, whole is bigger. This some some is bigger than the whole. Some of the parts are bigger than the whole. That's a very counterintuitive idea of the quantum physics. It's an emergent property, So the not only emergent property, it's general is a great property of the physics is that could be the whole is bigger than some of all its parts. It's a very counterintuitive idea. But Dr. Koreaman, where are you? I still have not seen him. I sent him all the information. He just disappeared on me. I'm not sure why. That's very rarely happens. Most of the time, nowadays the doctors are showing up for me. This is a first special day that I didn't, I don't see him. I don't know why, but that's not fair. That is, it could be something emergency came on. He's an urgent care. He runs urgent care centers. Could be a little bit longer. But today I'm going to talk about. So one of the contention is one of the things he's saying that Robert Perel is saying that when you have two big systems merged together, one advantage is a lot of things you can implement much easier and faster, like clinical trials. Anything that outcome that is a positive outcome is there from the clinical trials. Any drug or procedure is successful, but that is could be implemented much faster in number of years, 3 years, he says. But actually, the credit is not because of the capitalistic adventure of the two major systems measure. In my view, it is because the mathematics, the healthcare understood the embrace the mathematics. mRNA messenger, for example, is kind of a thing, a new understanding of the computational biology, understanding the cellular level of the computational complexities. These are all making it easier for us to implement these kind of things. Understanding the soul of the mathematics. That's what I'm going to talk about it today. In fact, so without any further ado, I'm going to start. Let me see if I left messages, but I'm strange that why he didn't show up. He didn't even. Let me see if he sent me any messages. No, I don't see any messages from him. So let me go ahead and while I'm doing that, any one of my doctors can join. And Dr. Krishtangel, I will ask him. He is always joins with me. He's like a godfather. So let me see if we can come online and talk about a little bit anything about Dogman. He's a Krishtangela is doing it's a company called it is a domed.com. It is a new website like a WebMD, but it's doing very well, in fact. Okay, so see that if we can come down, it's not possible in the last second. It's my over ambition, but is a Domed is you should check it out. Domed.com, DOVEMED.com. It's a informational website. He's a professor of pathology in the University of Urbana, Illinois. So you should see that. So let me start my presentation. If he doesn't show up, Dr. Corey. Yeah. So let me start. I'm going to start the presentation. This is very interesting presentation. Why mathematics? How the math diagnoses the diseases. That's a very interesting, right? Math is a prescription. Think about that. So there is a Arthur C. Clarke, is a science fiction writer. He says that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke says that. That means you can't tell the difference in the future. If I'm telling you something, you can find out certain things I'm going to show you now. It looks like a magic, but that's the great thing about the advanced technology. It looks like a magic. That's exactly. He's Arthur C. Clarke wrote several my you know several hits. Is the author of the several science fictions. One of them is Odyssey 2001. There is a movie is done on that basis. 2001 Odyssey. That is a fantastic movie. It was a big hit, major hit in the movie circles in the early 2000s or early 80s. The other one, the book I like it is Rendava with Rama. You first picked up Indian god Rama. I don't know why. The reason he was describing in this book is the UFOs and the not knowing what they are. It's exactly what we are going through with UFOs right now. We don't understand it. Un- Unidentified aerial phenomena they call, but same thing as UFOs. We don't know where they came from other sides. Rendava with Rama is actually it came from our solar system. We don't know where it came from. That is a fiction writing by Arthur C. Clarke. Rendava with Rama. Rama is a spaceship actually. He's not even spaceship. He doesn't know what it is. He exactly says that is unidentifiable. He doesn't know what that is in the book he writes. So we all should read that book. I was very intrigued by this book. So think about that. Now, I'm going to talk about a mysterious entity connects them all: life, diseases, vitals, aging, software, gods, and demons, and universe. There is something connected with all of them together. It maybe looks funny to you. It looks like a magic almost, a mysterious entity that's connect them all together. I tell you what that entity is. Very few people know about it. That is called. I will show you a video. You watch that video, then tell me what that is. You can tell me. Okay. Hello, my name is Ramana Annamaraju. I'm going to introduce you to one of the most enigmatic and elusive concepts in the entire field of science from my book, Science is Not a Subject, Science Must Be a Lifestyle. The concept is called entropy. I'm focusing on one aspect of entropy related to information and its connection with the present day healthcare challenges. Entropy is like a ghost, but it is a mean one. You don't see it, you cannot talk to it, it never leaves you, it threatens your job, it tries to destroy your health, it affects your performance, it follows you wherever you go and whatever you do. You feel and see only its destruction. It is not your competitor you need to worry. You need to worry about this elusive ghost. It is your enemy number one. Please pay attention. It makes a difference in your career, in your job, and your duties. If you are a policymaker, you have to understand the impact of money and the economy of your citizens. If you are the CEO of a healthcare system, you have to be concerned about access and equity for all your members. And if you are a software engineer, you need to analyze simplicity versus complexity with your user experience design. As I mentioned before, entropy is your number one enemy. It is true what they say, know your enemy first, then you can come up with a strategy to deal with it. We need to start with the question how much you know and how much you don't know about a system you're working on. This is not some philosophical or a new age question. You have to quantify with the numbers. It is a scientific question to the core. The answer is not that easy. Fortunately, there was a guy, smarter than all of us, gave a stunning insight. His name is Ludwig Boltzmann, an Austrian physicist, lived in the latter part of 1800s, came up with a statistical formula for known versus unknown. It is not just a formula, it is a law, second law of thermodynamics. In urban slang, we call it as a law of entropy. The law is not limited to known versus unknown, it is present everywhere, materials and processes and even life itself. Entropy is a true measure of your ignorance of a system. You may say, I don't know a lot of things, but I know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. This statement may seem right before you know about the law of entropy. The law of entropy says the unknown does not sit idle. It is constantly attacking your known systems. Entropy wants you to become ignorant and leaves you in constant confusion. It creates a chaos, your understanding of any system dwindling every day by law of entropy. Only way out is to fight it. Entropy is a tough concept to comprehend. I will do my best here with a simple example. You see a picture of a teacup with the 2 sugar cubes in the bottom, and the top teacup is mixed with the sugar. Adding 2 cubes of sugar makes you happier, but your happiness does not come for free. I know sugar prices are going up. Still worse, the law of entropy says your ignorance is also going up. You have known knowledge that there are 2 sugar cubes. Since you know something makes the bottom cup low entropy state. Now, when you mix the sugar, you turn the simple system into a complex system. Even if I ask you, you cannot get sugar cubes back. Sugar is melted away and you lost all the information about the sugar cubes. The irreversibility of the process increases the state of entropy. In a split second, you made the top cup in a higher entropy state. Known system became an unknown. Just it applies to a teacup, this irreversibility is evident everywhere and everything you do. A simple realization that if you create a process for your company with some data variables, the complexity slowly seeps in. It means you lost control of your process and the information becomes chaotic. But if you keep tabs on what it takes to reverse the process to the initial state, it saves you time, money, and energy. You are keeping the ghost of entropy at bay. Life itself is a low entropy system. Zoom in or zoom out, your cells to your entire body do hand-to-hand combat with the law of entropy to keep you healthy and alive. Your number one enemy is waiting at outskirts of your life and your company. Boltzmann revealed this book of knowledge and wisdom about the universe with his famous equation. He could not convince his peers about his theory. Later, Boltzmann committed suicide, and his famous formula was written on his tombstone. Devil also, like numbers. Chaos may be its nickname, but it is speaking the nature's language, that is mathematics. Cancer is cellular chaos. There is no diagnostic equipment can measure the exact progression, but with the entropy algorithms, you can extract patterns from seemingly chaotic information. One such algorithm came from an unrelated field, football. Yes, game of soccer. Soccer fanatics wanted to know who is going to win the World Cup that is being held every 4 years. The fans include a number of scientists. They created an algorithm called World Cup Optimization Algorithm. I don't know how much it is useful in predicting the World Cup winner, but it is helping to detect and predict the progression of cancer. They are testing with the cancer of melanoma and breast cancer. Boltzmann gave the formula for entropy, but a brilliant mathematician and engineer at the Bell Labs, which became AT&T now, gave a different twist to the concept of entropy. His name is Claude Elwood Shannon. The theory bears his name. It is called a Shannon entropy. According to Shannon, the information is central to all processes.
Which I think he's very widely known for, is this notion of a fundamental limit. No matter what you do, as long as you're working with a certain amount of bandwidth, and as long as you're dealing with signals that are only so strong in the face of noise that you confront. No matter what you do, you cannot transmit more than a certain rate. Today, that
Here is one remarkable example how you can employ Shannon entropy to healthcare equity and access. The world of medicine made a huge progress in diagnostics and treatments, but healthcare delivery systems are not. A significant number of people on the planet don't see those benefits. Health inequities you can witness in rural and urban America's landscape, and worse, everywhere else. Health delivery system is riddled with complexities. It may be partially political, but it is also filled with logistical complexities. Variants like remote geography, disease burden, and economic backgrounds, to name a few. Where there is a complexity, law of entropy shines. Shannon entropy is successfully utilized by countries like Iran, Turkey, and Greece to address the inequities in healthcare delivery by allocating and utilizing existing resources more efficiently. Truly a remarkable tribute to human mind how an obscure 18th century physicist from Austria and 21st century brilliant mathematician from MIT can help humanity by discovering the hidden laws of nature. Thank you for listening. You can read in my book further. Science is not a subject, science must be a lifestyle. So you can see the mystical entity is entropy. Entropy is a very interesting concept. Entropy algorithms can be used. Entropy is a order to disorder. It's a marching always towards the disorder, whether you like it or not. There is nothing you can do about it. It is always moving towards the disorder. That's a nature's hidden law. It's more fundamental than even a law of conservation. That is that powerful. Order goes to disorder is the most fundamental law. It's actually not a law; it's a guidance, but it's embedded in the universe. It's a fundamental characteristic of the universe. From everything, from if you take an omelette, if you take a egg and then make an omelette, you cannot turn it back into omelette. The eggs. It's only progression is getting worse. It became omelette, and then that's it. One way is a one-way coming. One way going. That is actually created the time. In physics, there is no time concept. Actually, the time concept came from the second law of thermodynamics, which is the law of entropy. That came. But anyway, let me show you how the entropy algorithms, you can use it in the healthcare. This place, you can take the power of the entropy algorithm by looking at the phone without any probes. There's no temperature probes, nothing else. By using just looking at the 30 seconds, you can get all these information: ECG, single channel EKG, blood pressure, respiratory rate, oxygen saturation, heart rate variability, all of that. Even in the breast cancer detection, they're working on right now. This is mobile based diagnostics. How they do that? It's just a phone. How they do that? I'm going to show you. Let me, if I can make it. It doesn't, maybe. Yeah, let me show you this one. Yeah. So there are no probes, actually. There is no probes. Is image analysis, thermal imaging, acoustic imaging, all of them, combine them together, an algorithm is created, and then that creates all these parameters that you see, the data that you're getting, health data that you can get it. Benami is a company based in Las Vegas, is an Israeli company, is working on it right now. They are already applied for the FDA approval. So it's a very fascinating, the new physics is using the mathematics. As Dr. Robert Perlow, this is an example how the mathematics advances in the mathematical algorithm. A law of entropy, the law of universe, is advancing this process of giving the healthcare data just by looking at the phone. So entropy algorithms are now they're using for sepsis. Sepsis is the most high mortality rate. It's almost a 70% death rate. 30% survival rate. That's all with a severe sepsis patients. It is a hospital acquired infection mostly. It is a very dangerous one. It's a cost is a very high cost in the sepsis. That is almost a high mortality rate is almost 70% death in the severe sepsis patient. A severe infection is actually immune response of the infection. High cost, and almost $70,000 to $100,000 it costs. And that's a minimum conservative estimate. So we need to control. Hospitals have that is one of the biggest costs for the hospitals, unnecessary acquired infections. So they're using entropy algorithm to detect this. You prescribe the entropy algorithm. It's called entropy-based sepsis algorithm, EBSA. Entropy-based sepsis algorithm. They're using it. University of San Francisco did this. But more interesting it is acoustic crying. When there was sepsis among infants, they can't comply. So only way you can recognize that acoustic crying, you take the signals of the crying and analyze the electrical signals from there and see the severity of the sepsis. You can detect the severity of the sepsis. Think about that. It is called a new kind of a diagnostics, newborn cry diagnostic systems. Newborn cry diagnostic system. The infant baby is crying can tell you a lot of stories about the health. So that's a fascinating in my view. For me, it is. I never heard that. That is like you can tell just by analyzing the crying. That's the entropy algorithms can do that. Heart rate variability, for example, when you are doing heart rate variability, one of the things they found out through the entropy algorithm, the lower the heart rate variability is, the much more higher rate of sepsis with those patients. There's a lot of correlations. The entropy algorithm can recognize that. Healthcare, EMR, real data also. So the entropy algorithms are really, we need them for the sepsis, which is one of the biggest costs for the $25 billion a year cost for the entropy sepsis. Okay, let me go back to the entropy algorithm and heart diseases. How do you detect? EKO geodigital stethoscope in Mayo Clinic. Just a stethoscope with an ECG on it. That's all. You can detect 300 data points: irregular heartbeat, atrial fibrillation, thickening of heart muscles, cardiomyopathy, and then heart muscle does not pump enough. That's heart failure, congestive heart failure. That is a potassium levels. You can see hypokalemia, I think. Hey, I told you that I'm not a doctor. Hypokalemia, valve diseases. You can detect from the stethoscope. Can you believe this, guys? By using the entropy algorithms, you can detect your phone and stethoscope. You can detect all these diseases. Think about the future. It is all in this Mayo Clinic study. 300 data points. So entropy algorithm. Entropy is a universal algorithm. Universal characteristic of universe. Entropy algorithm told something different story about the monks. Monks can do the meditation in the caves. It's not possible to do, physically impossible to do the meditation in that coldest temperatures there, but they do that. What they found out is when you run this entropy algorithm on their ECG, what they found is autonomic function. They're doing hibernating. They're controlling autonomic functions. Controlling the autonomic functions are the blood pressure, the heart rate, the pupil dilation, all of them are all the autonomic function, digestion, all of them, they're controlling and reducing that function. It is possible through meditation. So hidden ECG entropy algorithm recognizes that special feature of the for the monks. So that is entropy algorithm says a lot of the entropy of aging. Why we age? The particles don't experience time. We are made up of all the particles, right? The cells are made up of atoms, and the molecules are made up of atoms made up of particles. Particles don't know the difference between yesterday and tomorrow. The laws of physics doesn't distinguish between the yesterday and tomorrow. But why we get older? That is second law of thermodynamics, the law of entropy. It says you're always marching towards getting older. Because what is actually marching towards? Information. Epigenomic information is lost. The cells cannot communicate their information when they're sending that senescent cells sending information is lost. The information, losing the information, it causes the entropy increases. Information loss is the entropy increases. I tell you, there is a strange connection between the entropy and the information. So the getting go, we can always, you can do good plastic surgery, you can go back, but it's only temporary, very small amount. You cannot go when you're 18 years old. No, because you don't have all the information where all the molecules are there, where all the cells are located at. To get that information, you need almost the atomic energies level of energy you need it. You don't have that access, so you don't get that. So second law of even if you have that entropy, eventually second law of thermodynamics keep marching towards the bad things, good to bad, bad to worse. There's nothing you can do stop about that. That is a more fundamental than any other law. Even a law of conservation of energy can be, violated, but not the second law of thermodynamics. Bad to worse, good to bad, bad to worse, ever marching. So there is a lot of healthcare. This algorithm, that property of that going good to bad, bad to worse, there is a hidden property. You can take the mathematics of that. You can do EEG analysis, sleep studies, vital sign monitoring, and anesthesia monitoring. You can use the entropy algorithms. These are all algorithms on the right side. Approximate entropy algorithm, simple entropy algorithm. All these algorithms are very well connected with this kind of studies. You can read and you can diagnose a lot of patients through entropy algorithms. Now, entropy and the Twitter. I said that, language. Why English is so popular with the Twitter, English language is popular with the Twitter than any other language. The reason is, if you see on the left-hand side, I can read it or you can read it, even though there are spelling mistakes. Doctor has admitted the patient. I can read it, even though the reason was the redundancy of the information in the English language, the capital letters, silent letters, commas, all of them created a redundancy that created the lower the entropy. And then Claude Shannon, actually first paper that he published is the entropy of the language, English language, 1.0 to 1.5 bits per letter. That's the power of the English language. That's why English became so popular. If you take my language in the middle, which is my native language, even if I know the language, if I miss one letter, I cannot understand what it is. So that is the problem with all the other languages. So English dominated because of one of the characteristic of the English language is not somebody genius is reading about the left side. That's probably in a lot of some of the Americans write that way, that they think is the right spelling. but 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 that the power of the English language, the entropy is lower for English language than any other language. That's why you could able to read, and then Twitter became popular with one or two sentences, one or two letter words. You can do that. There's no other Twitter language in any other way you can do that. The next one is a software entropy of software. If you are producing a electronic medical records, or you are producing any software platform application, you cannot throw like these versions as like a hotcakes, Because every time you throw a version, the technical debt increases, entropy increases. So when Epic is telling you to buy number 3 version, number 4 versions, all these versions are nothing but your complexity increases. So you always ask one question: what it takes to go back to the original version? That's why if you see Windows 11 come down, they tell you with a one click you can go back to Windows 10. It's not that they're doing anything favor for you. They want to reduce the complexity for themselves, because they need to know what it takes, resources, energy it takes to go back in case of something happens. So that is the power of the entropy in software. Software entropy is a Wikipedia concept. Then entropy of the devils, entropy of demon. James Maxwell, who gave the equations for the electromagnetic spectrum, gamma rays, alpha rays, X rays, all these are governed by electromagnetic waves. He gave the mathematical structure for that. James Maxwell, English physicist. But he didn't believe in the second law of thermodynamics, law of entropy. He didn't believe. He didn't say that things never go good to bad, bad to worse. He said all good things come to an end. No, it's not possible. I can prove it to you through a thought experiment. What he did was, there's a demon sitting there on the box. That's a thought experiment. It's called a Maxwell demon. He sits on the top, and then you see a bunch of molecules, the particles, air molecules, air, going around, moving around. And what he did was, this demon does is, he puts a door in between, and he puts all the cold particles on your left side, and the particles moving slow, you put them on the left side. He opens the door and put them that side. And then the particles moving faster, which is the hotter, which the emergent phenomena of faster moving particles create a heat. So you put on the right side. So he got the free energy. He says that I can cook the food on the right side, and then I can refrigerate in the left side for free energy. It's a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant thought experiment. Everybody thought, oh, he took the really good swipe at the Boltzmann concept of law of entropy. The law of entropy may not be that fundamental. They thought. But hold on. What they found, what they came out is that the demon is not a free. It has to have a memory. It is to know which one is moving faster, which one is moving slower. It has to have a memory. That memory requires energy. It needs to eat. It needs a vampire blood, right? So he needs the energy to maintain that memory. So it's not free. There is no free machine. There's no free energy. Actually, that's the computed. Actually, is called a Landau limit. Is a 0.0175 electron volts per bit. That's the energy that is spent on the bit. That's information is as connected with the energy. That's the first time we connected the energy and information together. Entropy and information is energy, information and entropy, information, energy are connected this way. The next one is entropy of idiots. What entropy said: your ignorance is going up of a system, the entropy goes up. Your ignorance is higher, your entropy is higher. You're more idiotic, you want to be idiot, your entropy is higher. So this entropy of idiots, not you. I created this. So we have a lot of them nowadays. So entropy of the universe, entropy of gods and computers. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about that. Entropy of the universe is the marching towards the universe itself, marching towards the end. It will die with a whimpering death. It is just all the matter disappears eventually. Galaxies, planets, galaxies, stars, they're all gone. Even the black holes will be gone eventually. There's nothing except the photons running around. So there is no universe as such as you know. It will die. Hindu mythology, there's Lord Shiva. Actually, at the end is called a cosmic dance. He destroys the universe. That's what he does. That is a God's coming in the picture. His job is to destroy and finish off the universe, and the cyclical universe will be born. So Brahma and the new universe will be born. That is one of the things. But it's also very strange. This is connected to the quantum computers. The black hole physics is connected with the quantum computers. The entropy of the black hole, the way they compute it, because when you throw your wallet, then when you throw a wallet, or it is actually, the information is lost. According to the Stephen Hawking, the information has to be lost. That is a big no-no in quantum physics. Information cannot be lost. You exist. So you're permanently erased from the universe itself. That is, your existence is completely erased. Is not acceptable in the fundamental laws of physics. So they came up with a different idea. That is that when you are falling in black hole, actually there's not a fire falling in. They're deposited on your two-dimensional structure. There's nothing inside. We don't know what is inside. There's a two-dimensional, your picture, your two-dimensional, a lower dimensional version of you will be there on the event horizon, on the surface of the black hole. Even you can apply to the entire universe. So you are the projection of the hologram. I was talking about holograms. You are the projection from the universe itself. You and me, we are all projections. The matter and everything is a projection from the edge of the universe, the surface of the universe. That holographic principle. It's a very, very important principle in physics. That principle is somehow connected to the quantum computers information. So they're saying all the information is encoded on the surface of the black hole. Now you can take the particles as a black hole. You can say quantum qubits. They encode the error correction, for example, holographic correction. They use this strange phenomena of encoding on the surface on the quantum computers. That is, there's a strange connection between the gods and the universe and the quantum computers. Entropy is the connection between all of them. So entropy is not just abstract math. Entropy is a precise math, is a prescription math. Chaos follows a precise math. I've said that eventually they will prescribe the entropy math to find a sepsis, to find a vital signs. Entropy, indirectly, they will be for doctors prescribing entropy math. Okay, so that is a part of the entropy. Now, we have people who did this, two remarkable men, Boltzmann and Claude Shannon. They found out this phenomenal. They did this mathematics and the concepts. They found the Austrian physicist Ludwig Boltzmann, and Claude Elwood Shannon from MIT, American. They really found this law of entropy, a fundamental property of the universe. Not only is the universe, you can apply for your body. We all came from the universe, so you can apply the same laws. You can apply to your human body and find out, and you can get better and through this law of mathematics, law of entropy. Thank you for watching, and good night. Sorry that I hope Corey Amon will make it up next time. Thank you all. Good night.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.